I would love you to call the head of every agency, network, studio, and talk show and ask them, what's the problem with Kathy Griffin? And there seems to be a problem. So the only thing I know how to do is what I've always done, is just keep working.
Get ready for a lady with no damn rules. Ladies and gentlemen, Kathy Griffin!
Stronger, makes me work a little bit harder, makes me not much wiser, thanks for making me fighter.
Oh, we have so much to discuss. I have so much new shit. It's untried. It sucks. No, I'm kidding. All right. So a couple of months ago, I did 5 Monday nights of a brand new hour every single Monday. Did any of you here come to any of those? I'm screwed. No, I'm kidding. I have a film coming out. It's a feature film. It's a docu-comedy, you heard me. The first third's documentary, and it's raw, and I mean ugly crying. It's the no makeup ugly crying. And then it's just concert hilarity, comedy concert hilarity. And it's because it was a TV special I couldn't sell. I'm going to be honest, I couldn't sell it.
I was completely shocked by the amount of blowback. I really thought a few people would take notice. I knew it was a strong statement. I also know about the history of that kind of imagery. That image came out looking more graphic than when we shot it. For example, the photographer, he did some photoshopping because when we first held up the Halloween mask, and that's all it was, and put the ketchup on it, it kept folding because it was a Halloween mask. So I went upstairs and got one of my styrofoam wig heads, and I said, well, let me put this wig head behind it. And I actually thought it may not have been as offensive if they had left the styrofoam wig head part in. And I think it would have looked more like a satire. I wasn't afraid of making a really strong statement because I felt like the things that Trump and this particular administration were doing, by the way, including the so-called First Family, were so above and beyond anything that I had seen in my lifetime that I thought it warranted some kind of a strong response. I thought I was going out of my way to show that I wasn't serious because I wore a very high collar dress, which I typically don't do. I had a very stoic look on my face, which I'm usually very gesticulating a lot and sort of manic and a lot of facial expressions. And I thought that people would see, okay, she's making some kind of a statement. This was not meant to be any kind of a serious threat. And also remember, I've performed in Iraq and Afghanistan, in Kuwait, in Uzbekistan, at Walter Reed. So I've done a lot of work with the military. So it certainly didn't occur to me that the military folks would take it so seriously. And that was one of the things that was devastating to me that was immediate. I felt like the entire military community turned on me overnight.
Will you guys admit, and I'm not making fun of this in any way. Yes, I am. Admit that none of you Hollywood, including myself, have even heard of Ridgecrest before the earthquake. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For once, you're being candid. Thank you. I was like, Ridgecrest. And honey, I've played everywhere. I played a racino. A racino. And do you know what that is? It's a half racetrack, half casino.
I learned very quickly who my friends weren't, and it's most of the people that I knew. So most of the friends that I lost, I'd say I lost about 75% of my friends, never came back. I feel like what happened to me was a very easy to digest for the American public, a way to chip away at the First Amendment when you don't like what the First Amendment is. For the first few months, I was really frightened every time I went out because every time I left this house, there'd be an incident and somebody would physically grab me or get in my face and scream at me. It still happens to me sometimes. Made me think about my comedy, and then I don't mean to quote Trump, but then I kind of wanted to double down. Everyone I met with said, and this was including agents, producers, every single person those first few months said, don't ever mention Donald Trump's name again. Don't ever refer to this incident again. Soften yourself, clean up your act, try to be a mom on a sitcom or something. And I just thought, well, I'm not doing any of those things anyway, and that's not what bought this house, and that's not what won me my awards and gives me joy in life. And so I really felt strongly from day one that the story needs to be told in the best way that I can tell it.
Remember when An Inconvenient Truth came out and Al Gore was like, the planet has 200 years? Have you guys read the latest? We're down to like 2 months. I'm not kidding. We're down to 2 months. Go get a donut. Have some gluten, LA. Live. You've got 6 weeks.
Performing means everything to me, you know, and the greatest lesson was that I did learn even the president and the Department of Justice, even the full power of the government cannot stop people from buying tickets.